Now shut up. The show's starting.
Who's a judge? Who's a saint? And who's a sinner? Lord, it's tough enough to trudge from brunch to dinner. We seek the light of truth between our white lies. We sleep away our youth under tile sky.
Hey, everybody. It's a great show today. We got a fabulous show. Two of my really good friends I've known for quite some time. It's our Sordid podcast. And I mean, our guests, you've seen them on the big screen. You've seen them on the small screen. You've seen them in person. And I'm going to bring out our first guest. Well, we're going to bring them out together, but I have to introduce them one at a time. Would you please welcome? He's a writer, director, producer, and he's, as the Los Angeles Times says, he's the master of Texas comedy. Would you please welcome Del Shores?
Thank you for having me. I'm hearing the applause nationwide.
Oh, yes. Hold on. I do. There it is.
There you go.
And of course, our second guest. Oh my God. I love this woman. She and I have actually gambled together in Vegas. We have. She was here in Vegas, and we met a couple of guys out in the casino at the Mandalay Bay. She is an award-winning actress. She's been in so many shows, and you know her as LaVonda from the fabulous Sordid Live series. Give it up for Ann Walker. Look at that.
Hi.
How are you two?
We are, we're good. We are good. It's good to see both of you. I haven't seen Ann in person in a while, so that's good to see you. I told you before when we were talking right before we went on that Ann and I don't even have to pretend to like each other. We actually do.
I know. I love that. We are here. Hold on.
He's like my little brother.
Little brother. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm anxious to find out. Now, listen, Ann and I have had some late night chats, haven't we? On Messenger.
Yes, we have on FaceTime.
With
no makeup on.
No makeup on. Okay.
And my hair pulled back straight. It's just a sad look for me.
It's the first time I've seen her with makeup in a year and a half.
That's true. That's very fucking true.
So Del, you're like a Rolling Stone gathers no moss. I mean, what's happening in your life? What have you got planned with the pandemic down? Because none of us have to wear masks anymore. Didn't the mask mandate get lifted in Los Angeles?
I think you still do in the grocery stores.
Well, only if they make you. It's up to the establishment.
I'm going to wear mine continually in the grocery stores.
Well, that's just because you don't want to put makeup on. I mean,
very, very true. That's very true. But nobody can tell anything when you've got that mask on.
Right?
You can ignore people too. You can just well, so what's going on? You asked me what's going on.
I'm asking what's going on.
Things are starting to get going. I have 4 shows coming up in Provincetown, starting June the 30th, and then through the 6th of
Who's getting messages?
I don't. What is that? It's not me.
It's me because I can't turn this down.
Oh, you have to go. Well, I'm not going to explain to it.
I know, right?
Okay.
I can't. I don't know how.
And then I'm going right into the hospital for a second shoulder replacement right after I get back. And this will be my second this year. I'm getting it all done. And then after that, I go to Texas to direct a very sordid wedding on stage that opens at Uptown Players in Calitas Humphreys at the end of September. And then literally getting in the car on a Sunday, October 3rd, driving to start teaching and directing a commissioned play at Northwestern State University in Louisiana, where I teach every year now. And I'm excited that I'm going to get to direct my students in an original piece.
Oh, wow. Now, pardon my my dumbness here, but has a sordid funerals what you're directing? Wedding.
Yeah.
Now, has that been done on stage yet?
Never. This is the premiere. We were supposed to open August the 19th, 2020, and there was this little thing that happened, and I was literally casting it. I had casted in Texas, and I was in rehearsal in Texas for This Side of Crazy, my other play that had just finished a run here in Los Angeles, and Emerson Collins and I just fled Dallas to get back to LA because of the pandemic. And you know, as all of us, everything in our life was canceled, and we've been on a lot of live stream and a lot of
I know you've been doing what we've been doing. Exactly. I just started this a few weeks ago, but you're like a pro here on StreamYard.
Yeah, we've done over 120 shows of the Dell and Emerson show. So we, you know what, what's really, I don't know if you find it, but we found it very therapeutic for us. It gave us a purpose. It gave us somewhere to go to twice a week. And we've really enjoyed it. So we appreciate all of those who tuned in.
Miss Ann, besides hiring big, burly, masculine men to dig holes in your yard, what have you been doing during the pandemic?
I've been doing a lot of the same thing everybody else has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, not a damn thing. I do these little things when people ask me. I was sick for a couple of days. I had ridiculous pulmonary embolisms.
Oh my gosh.
Well, what? They put me in the hospital. I'm never sick. I am never, ever sick. But I'm totally okay. And I'm looking forward to whatever life is bringing. I don't know. I'm sorry I don't have anything fucking coming up.
It's okay. I'm sure we'll have some nasty little stories once we go back to our midnight chats.
That one event you had to cancel because of that hospital stay.
I know.
Where was that?
They were flying me to Richmond, Virginia, to a fellow who was from Palm Springs, moved there after his home city, and he was wanting to put together a charity event for the gay community and letting people know he was back. So they were going to do a Sordid Lives screening, the movie. So I said, sure. And I was supposed to leave the following weekend. And the Monday I hit the hospital for a couple of days.
Get down, girl.
Let me tell you, Medicare, my bill for the hospital, $36,000 for like a little more than 30 hours there.
Right.
This is what Medicare paid for. I think I have to pay like $300, my part. Although I think the supplemental insurance will pay that. So I'm out of pocket, not a penny.
Get
not
down,
a penny.
Look at us, like just approaching the senior years of our lives, talking about our Medicare. What medications are you on, Esther? What is that? What are you on these days?
I'm going to be on Medicare quite soon. Let me tell you, right now I'm on a hope, wing, and a prayer.
Well, it's good. I mean, I don't mean to be
No.
political here, but fucking Screen Actors Guild canceled all of our old people who've worked all their lives.
Yes.
Insurance, and someone is mismanaging because I am in the Writers Guild, and they sent out an email the other day. They're like 4 billion strong in the Writers Guild. So the Actors Guild, I mean, shame on SAG.
It is. I remember when they had the best dental. They had the best dental too at one time.
We had no idea what we were getting, because you paid the money, a little bit of money, and you were covered in everything.
Right.
It's been eye-opening since I've had these. I'm never sick, so this has been a big deal for me to find out about.
So everybody tune in, all you young people. I hope you're enjoying our fabulous conversation.
We're not just about the geriatric.
That's right.
I'm going to take my teeth out in a minute and show you what the shorts can.
Oh, Esther, did you know Donna Day at the drag queen at the Rose Room years ago?
The rose tattoo and.
In Dallas.
Oh, no.
Donna Day used to she would sing like some Aretha song, Respect, and then she'd get up there and host. and she'd take her teeth out and put them in an empty cocktail glass until the show was over. It was
my gosh.
fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna play a clip here, and then I got a question to ask you, Mr. Dell. Okay, hold on. Here we go, everybody. Just a little refresher on Sordid Lives. This is part of the trailer.
Come on, no leave it down.
It's Thelma! I thought I was Thelma. No, Thelma's the one with the shitty husband.
Oh, he's drunk.
So this is Wardell.
Shoot her, Wardell. Shoot her in the head.
Brother boy, I'm taking you home now.
I'm
I'm in hell.
I have had a horrible, horrible day. But you're here now and things are looking up.
Mama, I'm gay.
We were very close.
Well, I guess you didn't think I was gonna make it, did you, Mama?
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. Now, hold on, let me get this clipper here.
Oh, I wish that his career had done better.
You know, isn't it sad? Little fucker's done doing absolutely nothing. You know, look, here's what I want to ask you, Dell. 1999 is when you wrote the script and the idea. Was it a book first? It was a screenplay.
The first was a play that I was thinking about that, Esther, right before we went on, because I was doing the math, which is very difficult for me. But the play opened in May of '96, so it just turned 25 years old, Anne.
Wow.
Wow. But my question to you, I mean, it has become a cult. It's a cult classic. It's not just Sordid Lives. Everybody knows Sordid Lives. They use they talk about all the characters, Lavonda, you know. Did you think when you wrote it that it was going to be this influential on the world, on the gay community, on the LGBTQ community, that would become such a beloved piece of film history?
You know what? We raised the money, we shot our little film, and we were just hoping for the best. We thought we were going to play some film festivals and get some adoration and hopefully get some distribution. And it was just, it's so interesting. You talked about your psychic friend before we started the show. And I remember Sharon Lane, who produced the play, I mean, the screenplay or the movie with me. We were walking down Ventura Boulevard. We lived on Colbath over in Sherman Oaks, and we passed the psychic bookstore. And she said, let's go in and get a reading. And we were editing Sordid Lives at the time. And the psychic said, you're working on a project together that is going to have a very unusual life, and you need to be patient. And we were like, okay, and over the years, that's made more and more sense to me that we were patient. I mean, Anne, remember it opened in Palm Springs they did a benefit at the Annenberg, and then it went into the Camelot. And then the next thing we heard, it was selling out every night. It was selling out, and it was going into its 6th month, 7th month, 8th month. And then it ended up playing for 96 weeks at the Camelot Theaters in Palm Springs. Yeah. And of course, that was sort of the nucleus of Sordid Lives, where everybody, a destination for vacation, and everybody would share their little baby. This is our baby. This is Sordid Lives. And so, I always tell Miss Walker, I said, you know what, if we ever have just a low dose of self-esteem, just grab that yellow blouse and let's walk down Palm Canyon Boulevard.
It's true.
Speaking of Miss Lavonda, I found a clip that just makes me pee myself. Every time I watch it and I laugh constantly. Let's take a look.
You all leave. Hello?
Mama! What the hell are you thinking?
Well, why are you yelling at me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, let me give you a little hint. Drinking out at Bubba's, cavorting with a known convict, and having an affair with G.W. Nethercott. Now do you have an idea, huh, Mama? Do you?
Oh, dear, how did you find out?
Latrell's been spying on you at Bubba's. And outside the Galaxy Motel, room number 10. Does that ring a bell, huh?
Oh, dear, what am I going to do?
You're gonna stop. Mama, what in the world has got into you?
Well, I think I love him.
No, you do not. Okay. Sissy and me have got Latrell covered. Sissy gave her 4 Valium, and we are going to convince her that seeing you was a dream. And here's your story if Latrell or anybody asks. You and Bitsy May watched a John Wayne movie last night. True Grit. Bye.
Oh my gosh. That was, hold on, where the hell is the clip? There it is. Oops, wrong one. Hold on, I hit the wrong clip. Hold on, there we go.
Gosh, that's funny.
Now let me ask you something, Del. How did you find this wonderful, beautiful woman to play Lavonda? How did you all meet?
I was invited to a play called Best Wishes.
Yes.
And it was at the Callboard Theater, which is now, I believe, a Persian rug company. And I think it is. I passed it the other day. I thought, oh, they've got Persian rugs. Maybe I'll go in.
Melrose, like just at the end of Melrose before Doheny.
With that theater, and that was where Amy Semple McPherson held church years
Yes.
and years
Tiffany?
ago.
Was it the Tiffany?
No,
It was the Callboard, I believe, and then y'all moved down to the Valley with the same show at the new
No, we
theater.
started at the Valley and we ended up at
The
Call.
Callboard. So I saw Ann Walker, and I was like, oh God, that's authentic. That's real Southern. And she was, playing some wayward sister in this play. And so this was right before Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will, if I'm not mistaken. And so when Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will went into casting, I called her in, and she actually didn't get the role of Sarah Lee. We cast Judy Duran. But I never forget a good actor. I never forget.
True.
And so
Very true.
she was in. I begged her to understudy Carol Cook in my play Daughters of the Lone Star State in 1993.
And I said, I'm sorry, I don't do understudy work. Thank you very much.
It was the best decision she ever made, because if you understudy for me, and I could name about 6 people who have understudied for me, I'll write you a role in my next play. And so
he did.
I did. And my next play was Sordid Lives, and I wrote Lavonda for her. She had no audition, and she's never auditioned for me again.
Oh my God! And did you ever?
The only time she has ever auditioned for me was for Daddy's Dying, and she didn't get that role, ironically. And everything else I wrote for her. And we've just become. Not only do I adore Ann Walker as an actress, but she is an amazing human being, and she is part of my family, my extended family, my chosen family. And I guess one of us will speak at the other one's memorial.
I'm sure you better. Do I need to write it myself?
No, I'll write it for you.
Okay.
Oh my! Have you guys watched the Kaminsky Method on Netflix?
Yes.
I watched the first season, but I need to catch up. I
haven't watched the second season either.
I haven't gotten to second season. I just finished first season. It was just making me think of the funeral and the eulogies. It just made me laugh. But Anne, did you think, years ago when they did the movie, that you'd still be playing Lavonda?
Well, this is a terrible story. This almost didn't happen because he had Beverly D'Angelo in the role of Lavonda Dupree in the movie.
Oh.
And she got a friggin' series, so she left, and then they went to everybody in Hollywood, everybody, to try to fill that. And thank God for Sharon Lane. She said, why don't we get that girl, since we're having trouble, why don't we get that girl that played it in the movie?
Yeah.
In the play.
It was all, it was like, if there's a movie god, the movie god certainly shined down on Sordid Lives with the casting, because that actually what happened was Beverly was trying to get pregnant with the twins that are now 20. And she had just gotten pregnant, and she couldn't do the movie. So I didn't
know that.
Yeah, it was a real long series. So
yeah,
but because I'm very close to Beverly, we reconnected during the pandemic, and we've talked it all out. But what happened that allowed us, because we had our investors and everybody, and we had some other producing partners, and they were insisting on some names. Well, at that point, we had Bo, and we had Olivia, and I believe we had gotten Bonnie by that time, Bonnie Bedelia. Now, Leslie Jordan was not a name at that point. He was just a piece of casting, So we...
Little short dude.
So he... And brilliant.
And he played Murphy Brown's secretary for...
That's exactly right. He had not even done Will and Grace at that point. So Patrika Darbo was set to do Nolita. And when Patrika was unable to do it because Days of Our Lives would not let her film with us for 9 days, I went to Delta Burke. And Delta Burke said yes, gave us the 4th star, and then Sharon said, let's cast Anne. And I said,
So I got that call. He had asked me to do
Juanita.
Juanita. And I kept working on how to make that cigarette go from one side of my mouth to the other while I was applying my lipstick.
Right.
It worked very hard on that. But anyway, we got there 2 weeks before, and I just thank God every day, and both of them, Sharon and Del, that I got to do that. Every incarnation of this has been, it goes away, then it comes back. Then there's a long time that, is in between. And then all of a sudden, we're going to do a TV series, And by then, everybody knew me as Lavonda, so I didn't have to really worry that I was not going to be in the TV series.
Oh, no, that was a done deal. Lavonda became one of the most popular characters in the
Yes, she did.
As the psychic said, it's going to have a long, weird life. And it's
very long. Yeah. Be patient.
Yeah. What was it? The series, how many episodes did you do? How many seasons?
We did 12. We did 12. It was a beautiful, beautiful shoot. We had the best time. That day, I mean, it brings back so many memories where Lavonda was losing her mind in the beauty shop. She shot, that's what we call in TV a bottle episode, because we needed to film Fast and Furious. We filmed, Ann Walker filmed 22 pages of dialogue that day.
Holy mackerel.
And we had filmed all the other parts when we were at their locations on different days. So she's literally performing like that, talking to Emerson Collins, reading the other lines.
And he's laying down on the set over there.
Literally under her. And if she missed anything, I would just back it up and she would go again. And we did it until we had it. But that was, and it was so crazy, Esther, because when I wrote that episode, I thought, well, this is a throwaway episode. It became the most popular episode of the 12 episodes.
Well, of course. I mean, that's like it's like a classic Golden Girls, and no pun, because we had Rue McClanahan there. But I mean, it's one of those pieces of comedy that no matter when you play it, Mama, it makes you burst out laughing. What was it like? God rest her soul. What was it like with Rue? How did you get Rue?
Tell them how you got her.
Well,
I'll go along.
Just like with Delta, just like with Bonnie, just with like Olivia, I often ask for what I probably don't deserve. And so when I wrote the series, I thought there's one actor that I would love to have do this role. Mm-hmm. And so I just went on IMDb and I found Rue's page. I found her manager, Barbara. And Barbara, you could play Barbara in the movie, Esther. She was very New York, and she's like, listen, she's my last client. I'm done. And so I said, well, she said, what is it, Logo? I mean, I tried to negotiate with Logo. They have no money. And I said, well, that's absolutely right. They have no money. And she said, well, Rue requires me to send it so I FedEx, because she didn't, there's no downloading with Rue PDFs. So we overnighted 12 episodes to Rue. 48 hours later, I get a call at my office, and this little gay assistant, who is now a big producer, David, runs in, and he goes, Del, Rue McClanahan is on line 3. And I'm like, ah! And I had to calm down. try to be professional. I said, Miss McClanahan, and she said, honey, if we're going to work together, you need to call me Rue. And if I really like you, you can call me Eddie Rue. And I knew when she said, if we're going to work together, I knew I had her. And we talked a little bit, and then she said, I love playing a woman in love. And at my age, we never get to play women in love anymore. So she said, but this doesn't pay much, does it? And I said, no, ma'am, it does not. It's logo. And she said, it's all right, honey. I'm rich.
I love it. And then, okay, so I guess when you were doing the plays, because live you can do things, but lots of people do stuff on the sets too, to do practical jokes on each other. And I found this clip from you on stage, Del, and I found this clip of you on stage, and you're telling the story about a prank that you did with Leslie Jordan. Let's take a look. This is I died when I want the comments afterwards. Here we go.
Decided that it would be fun to play a trick on Leslie Jordan. So I go to Rosemary Alexander, and I said, Rosemary, would you do me a favor tonight? Would you please do the show without your panties? And Rosemary goes, absolutely. So you know the scene I'm talking about. I mean, you know, we're talking about this evil therapist trying to dehomosexualize this transvestite, and she was so frustrated that she just decided to, you know, do fuck therapy. So she was chasing him around, and she finally hikes up her dress or her skirt, and she has one leg here and the other leg here. Now, I'd staged Leslie Jordan where he's like this, and, you know, you give him an inch, he will take a mile, man. He mugs, and he's, you know, milking it, and he'd get down here with those eyelashes and bat him, and you know, this night, she goes, fuck me, Earl, fuck me now. And Leslie goes down for his line. Ah! He barely got the enchilada line out. He was like hyperventilating. So he gets through the show, and he comes after me afterwards. He says, Delford, that is the meanest thing you've ever done to me. He said, I hadn't seen one in 20 years. I've forgotten what they looked like. It was like this angry animal. I swear to God, it snarled at me.
Oh my God, that is so freaking funny. Now, what were you?
We were all backstage, and then
so you were
in on it. Everybody
we all knew.
Leslie. Nobody. Leslie was the only one that didn't know.
And so we were peeking through our little holes that we had set up in the back.
Right.
And it was so funny. I thought we were just gonna, you know, pee on ourselves. It was just too funny for words.
Oh,
and Rosemary tells this. She finally told her version of the story during the pandemic, and she said that she had made Newell promise to keep everybody away from those peepholes. She wanted only Leslie to see it, and Newell was backstage talking to somebody else. He forgot.
Right.
So everybody they all saw the sight. But
oh my gosh, that's so
I think
funny.
that none of us regret it. I think it was probably the best practical joke I've ever played in theater.
Yeah, it is.
So let me ask you, are you planning on writing another Sordid Lives?
I'm not. I'm not. I felt like that when I wrote A Very Sordid Wedding, and Lavonda and Wardell got married, and Ty and Kyle got married, I felt like it was such a beautiful ending to the franchise that I said, done. I'm not doing anything else. Well, since I've broken my rule a little bit, and I adapted it into the stage play that's opening, like I said, at Uptown Theaters in September. But I also, during the pandemic, I started reading bedtime stories, sordid bedtime stories on Facebook Live, and I pulled out the half-finished book called A Sordid Saga for the Fall. And it's short stories of each character
When did you write that?
Well, I wrote it in 2006. I started writing it. And then I sold the series, so I used it as source material for the series. It's very, very much the stories of the series, but it goes a little darker. It goes into the psychology of the characters a little bit. Like, you find out that Juanita was actually sexually molested as a child, and that's why, because I always say, scratch deeper. There's a reason she's a drunk. There's a reason that she's never been on the same plane as everybody and numbing that pain for years. So, with the encouragement of fans, I put my pencil. I write on a yellow pad and with a pencil. I wrote 32 chapters, and it's called 3209 because Peggy's obituary is 09. And it's at my editor's right now, and it will come out probably in the next 3 or 4 months.
That is amazing. You ever thought, okay, just a question, I want to throw it out there because, they're looking for content constantly on Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. Would you ever consider picking Sordid Lives back up as a series if you had the ability to do it with non-censorship, but with a budget on something like that?
If they would come to me, and now that I do have some news that broke during the pandemic also.
News?
Yeah, the series is going to be available again, and that we have a distributor, and they bought the rights to it. It was all, the series was a big mess, Esther. I mean, the producer didn't pay us our residuals. It went into bankruptcy court. I remember that. We were awarded a shit ton of money, and we didn't get it because of the bankruptcy. So there's a little bit of bitterness from all of us. I think we concur about it. And I think the problem, honestly, in resurrecting the series is just recasting. And I just love what we had.
Yeah.
And I've lost Rue, and I've lost.
Yeah,
and,
I get it.
I've lost a few of my players, and
I'm way too fucking old.
So.
But I guess, for instance, like there's, I was thinking, like, I know you. I mean, do you have any other ideas similar for a series?
I can't talk about the details. But
I'm sure.
Well, I did. Emerson Collins and I created a new series, and we sold it during pandemic. So we're at the stage of setting it up at network right now. So stay tuned. Hopefully it'll happen. You know how this business is. But I wish I could talk in detail because I've written a role for Miss Ann Walker, or we've written a role for Ann Walker. And
how about an old Jew? Put old Jew in there. Man, God. No, trust me, I understand lawsuits. I just dealt with one for 2 years. These people tried to steal me.
They tried to steal her character of Esther Goldberg.
Did you know about that, Dale?
I had no idea.
Oh, hell. I opened the show across the street, and then they fired me from my own show that I wrote and was performing at the SLS Sahara. And it was a true life, all about Eve. This little young starlet decided to, she was like going after the producers and got involved, and they decided, we're going to get the young redhead and who has no comedy timing, and we're going to get rid of Esther. And then they fired me. Then they said they owned my character because of the contract we had with the thing. Anyway, it was 2 years, but they met my lawyers in the Southern District of Manhattan.
Tell Del how you got that lawyer. I love that.
What happened, Del, was there was a stupid thing in the contract. It was wrong, but these guys basically wanted to shake my ass down for $125,000. They figured I would set up a payment plan. I'd pay them this money. Well, I'm flipping out because they didn't put file the case here in Las Vegas. They filed it because we signed the contract in New York. They filed it in the Southern District of New York, which is one of the most expensive courts in the country. And it was a federal lawsuit, which was intellectual property, which was $75,000 just to walk in the freaking door. So they knew that I didn't have the money. I didn't have $75,000 sitting around, plus lawyers' fees. my lawyer here in Vegas said, hey, there's this company called the Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts in Manhattan, and they work with artists who have intellectual property. And what they do is they try to match you up with an attorney to see if they'll take your case. Well, they read what happened and saw who I was and what I did. They took my case. I had one of the most powerful entertainment law firms, pro bono. They represent Alicia Keys, Ricky Martin, Martin Scorsese. I mean, Keith Reed. It was amazing. They took over my case. These guys had about a $225,000 legal bill after my lawyers got done filing paper after paper after paper, and they ended up dismissing the case at the last minute when the judge was getting ready to make a ruling because they knew they were going to get screwed. And how you know the story. I was going to sue them, but they were going to file for bankruptcy. The thing is, I got my character back. But there is this incredible organization called the Volunteer Lawyers.
That's the thing. I don't own I own the Sordid Lives characters via stage. I own all, but I don't own the series. So it's just complicated. And I do have other stories to tell. And it's always interesting to me because, recently there was somebody on Facebook and they go, it was back when we did A Very Sordid Wedding. It goes, it'd be nice if he wrote anything else. And I said, here's my IMDb page. And then here are all the plays that I've written since I wrote Sordid Lives. So go talk yourself and do a little research before you come on my page and trash me for not doing anything but Sordid Lives. But you know what? Even if it was the only thing, if it were subjunctive tense, if it were the only thing I ever wrote, who gives a fuck?
Thank you very much.
It's been really good to all of us. And but anyway,
my name is Del Shores, and I'm not a one-trick pony, bitches. The way you look at it.
I don't know why people feel the need always, and I'm sure you experience this, and I know Ann does because we're Twitter buddies and we go after people. But it feels like to me that there are so many people that are just waiting and lurking in the privacy of their own homes.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, but I call them monitor Nazis. They sit there. I mean, did you see what on my MySpace page this morning? Somebody called me a faggot, and it was a whole thing. What did they?
And they got a page just for sending that to you.
They made a page just
to harass you.
I died, but but guess what? Facebook didn't take that. It says, "Hey, faggot, you're still a shriveled up old hag, single loser. Go die." They're still contemplating whether it's against the community standard.
That doesn't violate the Facebook standards.
No. But you'll laugh. Coco Peru writes, but and the point isn't that the point? I laughed. I went, Coco, you little bitch. And she and I laughed.
We love her.
Sometimes I love Coco's philosophy because sometimes you just go, yes, I am. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
Right.
I have all these Christians that come after me, and being a Southern Baptist preacher's kid, I can really quote that Bible. So they fling a scripture at me, I'll fling one right back at them, and I just do it. I'm not mad. People go, you
wrote all your shows based on all the things that you've got, 4 or 5 shows that you do on stage, one-man shows. How many shows have you done?
Have I done?
Yeah. Of your own.
I guess I've done
4.
No. It's more than that. I did that one the clip you showed, Very Sordid Life, my Sordid Life, Sordid Confessions, Naked Sordid Reality, and then the Shit Stir, which I'm about to do, and then on Broadway HD right now is 6 Characters in Search of a.
Wait a minute. The Shit Stir. What is that? What?
My new one is called The Shit Stir. And
I love it already.
Before the pandemic, and I'm resurrecting it now. But also the one that I have to say I think I'm most proud of the one-man shows, 6 Characters in Search of a Play, and it really was. Ann Walker was the one that got my mind going. We were in Houston in a hotel room. She was just visiting, nothing wrong. And I was telling her a story one day about my Aunt Bobby Sue and going to the Republican with the heart of gold down in Winters, Texas. And she said, if you ever write that character, I want to play it. And I started thinking, oh, there's so many people that I have not written about yet that are sort of circling the block, waiting to get into a play. And so that's how I came up with 6 characters, but it was because of a conversation with Anne.
It's sort of like Billy Crystal's 700 Sundays. Did you ever see
I
that?
love 700. Oh my God. It was so
Have you seen that, Dell?
I did not.
Oh.
It's on HBO. I believe it's on HBO or HBO Max. It's Billy Crystal 700. It's his one-man Broadway show. And he plays all the characters.
Oh,
But it's his life. But it's his
yeah.
life. And it is so incredible. And it made me think of that, you know, that what you're doing. Because it's your life.
I mean, it's filmed now and it's out there, and I'm probably never going to perform it live again. It was too fucking hard. It was a lot of words to memorize. Even though
Yes, one-man shows are very difficult. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know these. So somebody wrote 700 Sundays. Was hair love sordid lives? I'm just looking at some of the things here. Mandy Flower says, same, preach.
You know, what I was saying, and I went on a little bit of a rant there. I get a lot more love than I get hate, and I'm sure you do too. And
Oh, please. I had a stalker in Hollywood that actually took pictures. The thing that was hysterical is that we actually had the police come in because they sent me this thing, Jew bitch, you're going to die. And then they sent a picture of my apartment building in Hollywood. They go, we know where you live. And the funny part was they didn't know what I looked like out of this. They thought I was a real Jewish woman.
oh my God.
Yeah, they found him.
Well, that's scary.
But I mean, that's just part of, there's so much craziness. But like I said, I call them the monitor Nazis. They don't have the balls enough to come out and confront us face to face, and they never would. They can hide behind there. Hold on. Ron Morris just wrote this. Dale, Sordid Lives reminds me of growing up in a small town, Oklahoma, and there's a lady that looked just like you in the movies that lived there. What?
Oh, Anne.
Anne. There's a lady that looks. I do everything here. I produce. I run the board. I got the lights and shit. I see.
Thank
Wow.
you, Ron. I think I get a lot. We get a lot of that. Anne and I get a lot of people saying that character's like my aunt. Aunt Sissy. Blah blah blah. I think that's why Sordid Lives connected to so many people. Is that even. Esther, we were in. I think Anne was with me. We were in at a film festival early on in Miami, and there was this woman that came up to me, and she reminded me very much of like Mike Myers' character, Linda Richmond, on Saturday Night Live. And she said, listen to me, honey. I just want you to know that your family is so much like my family, but my family has money.
Yeah, white trash with money.
Oh, yeah.
We got a triple double wide. It's not just one double. It's a double wide plus.
Oh, those are not double wides anymore. They're manufactured homes.
That's right.
Me recently, they said,
That's
"That's right. Don't you call my house a double wide? It's a manufactured
So
home." It's not mean to disparage your home.
you two have been so delightful. I thank you so much for coming on today.
It was so much fun.
It was refreshing to see you with makeup and stuff. I'm like, and me too. You've seen what I look like. That's warmed over. So, Anne,
you don't. You look great.
Do you have anything coming up that you're going to be doing? Any projects at the moment?
Oh no, I'm getting the stitches out of my chest on next Wednesday. I had a little squamous cell cancer.
Oh, okay.
On my chest.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm getting those stitches out next Wednesday.
She doesn't know. She knows about it, but we are doing my place, Southern Baptist.
Oh yeah, the foundation
just turned 20 years old, and I started
Southern Baptist Sissies
with some friends, Southern Baptist Sissies, and I
please
started
tell us.
A foundation called the Del Shores Foundation. You can go to Del Shore.
Is it DelShores.com?
DelShoresFoundation.org.
Oh, okay.
And it is a mentoring program to help other Southern queer writers get their work exposed, other storytellers. And last year we had an amazing event, a Sordid live stream. I don't know if you remember, where the foundation donated 100% of all the proceeds of, we got all the cast back together to read Sordid Lives. And we raised $75,000 for struggling theaters. And we're doing it again this year, celebrating. We're not doing a reading, but we're just celebrating Southern Baptist Sissies with a lot of interviews. Leslie and Anne are going to do it with Dylan. and so many people coming back together from the film and the play. So that's going to be on August the 22nd.
Okay.
And I'm in that. I'm doing that.
So Anne will be doing that.
Well, what I'll do is what happens is this is playing live, and then what happens is I actually download it again and then reload it, and with all the information and credits. So I'll get the information and I'll put it into the link under this particular episode.
Thank you.
And that way people can go to the foundation and
the person we've told. We haven't even announced it yet. So
an exclusive.
Makes me feel better. My vaginal rejuvenation is holding up on such news. Exciting news. Oh, somebody put this right here. That Michael Zizik LeBlanc. Oh, it's things like this, Del, where people write, my partner and I played the DVD before he passed. To know that you have such an effect on, not only do you make them laugh, but you bring such joy to them and your work and all of you. I mean, it's not just what you write and what you do. It's like all of you, the entire cast and the people you brought such joy. But to read this, I just saw this come up and it just makes my heart go, oh.
Oh, I love it too. And we've had many people that have sent flowers with a telephone that said Jesus called, so-and-so answered.
At their parents' funerals.
And their Southern families, they're like, oh, that is so sweet, not realizing that they're
Well, that is exciting, and so we're gonna talk about your shows that we talked at the beginning of the episode. You're starting at the end of this month. You're doing some appearances. Provincetown.
Yes, I will. It's all on my. You go to delshores.com. Everything will be there.
Awesome. Thank you two so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Good to see you.
This has been absolutely fun, and of course, as we go out, we have to let Olivia sing us out with the Sordid Lives. Everybody, give it up once again for the fabulous Del Shores and the fabulous Ann Walker.
Thank you, guys.
And Ann, I love your dinging. I love your dinging. There we go. Thank you.